Hey everybody, Roger here. Hope you guys are all having a great day. Playing with this new setup on OBS, and so right now a lot of the things that I'm going to be doing, it's you just see the black screen in the background. I'll be changing this up as time goes by, but I didn't want to miss the opportunity to discuss and talk about the recent poll regarding 45% of gay men actually backing Trump. Um, it's I guess it's easier for them to come out of the closet being gay than it is to uh, let people know that they like the president, that they approve of some or most or all of the things that he does. So let's read over this. I also have a couple of other rebuttals on here that a lot of people are also kicking in and fighting back. Mainly the gay websites. I believe one of them is out.com or something like that. But anyways, let's just look at this. Newsweek reports, though most LGBTQ vote Democrat, new poll shows 45% of queer men backing Trump. A recent survey of 1,200 queer men in the United States found that 45% planned on voting for Republican President Donald Trump. Comparatively, 51% said they would vote for the Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden. And again, that's what I would probably expect, but I do still think that there's a lot of, for lack of a better word, closet cases out there that are going to be just not telling, even in a survey, if they're going to vote for Trump or not. And I would think, the margin for error for this is probably, I don't know, 5 or 10%, because there are a lot of people who just would lie in general just for fun or whatever. You never know. But for something as serious as this, I would probably think it's a little bit lower anyways. Maybe around 2 to 3% people would lie about it and just put Donald Trump, and this is where the survey is. Who knows? But I'm just kind of looking at it for what it is at this point. So the poll results follow very close to recent national polling, showing 50% of voters supporting Biden and 43% supporting Trump. And again, like we know from last year's election, it polls aren't really that important. So never bank on them. But while I'm reading this, even I take that into consideration. But there are a lot of gay people that are waking up. There are a lot of gay men in particular, especially some people that I know. I'm not going to say, on Facebook, I have a personal account on there that I am friends with a lot of people in the gay community, and a lot of them really don't like it when I talk about Trump, say the positive things. Again, there's a lot of negative things. I don't like how he's still selling weapons to the Saudis, and he's bragging about it. That to me, that's the libertarian in me. Just leave well alone. Let's get out of foreign intervention and foreign wars. This is something that was one of his campaign promises, and he hasn't really started anything, but he's working on making money off of it. So it's still continuing, and that bothers me. But yeah, I talk to the people on Facebook, my friends and family. Some of them are openly gay. The ones who are more really upset with me are the ones who backed me years ago when I came out by accident. It was kind of funny. Not that it's not hard to tell that I'm gay, but but they're very surprised at me now. With my ideas shifting. Probably since about 2008, I think I've been more libertarian. But prior to that, I was full on Democrat, victim mode, victim mentality. Everybody owed me everything, yada yada yada. But they're the ones that seem to be most pissed off all the time, more than the gay people. I would say the supposed gay allies are the ones that are really upset at my approval of Trump. Overall, is he the best person? In my opinion, right now, yes. Is he the most perfect person? No, he's got a lot of flaws in him and whatnot. I think a lot of gay people, especially people who see the advantages of having Trump in office fiscally, balls to the wall. He doesn't take any crap from anybody. President, I think a lot of people are starting to see and appreciate that. Especially when they see the whining of all of the senators, the governors, and all these people just destroying everything. There's nothing else to achieve with the gay community. We've accomplished everything that we want to. We've even added dumb things in this LGBTQπ organization, like NAMBLA, all these other different type of things that just kind of go over your head. Like, okay, at some point, you could stop. We're already there. We have freedoms now. I personally don't believe, I know I'm going a little off topic from this, but I personally don't believe that marriage should be forced for the church to submit to when it's a man and a man or a woman and a woman or anything that goes against teachings. But I don't know. I believe that that's blasphemy. I believe it's sinful as far as like trying to coerce a religious organization or any type of organization to accept you and to, I don't know, to just basically take control of the situation and change lifelong ideals or ages long ideals and suit them to your needs. That's hellish. You know, that's something that I just don't approve of. But anyways, the poll conducted by the queer men's social app Hornet actually asked 10,000 of its users worldwide about their preferred presidential candidate. But while 66% of worldwide users support Biden and 34% of supported Trump, the percentages among the U.S. men were much closer. And again, like some people mentioned earlier, this has to do, I believe Tim Pool and probably even Styx said this has a lot to do with the fact that they have censored and controlled media. In the United States, we have a lot better media where we're actually able to be, who knows how long at this point, we're able to look at different avenues of news and actually see what's going on. So there are a lot of people, a lot of gay people in particular, according to this article, that are catching on and seeing how the left and the extreme left, more or less, are not really good for America, and they see the benefits of Trump at this point in time. No special treatment, no preferential treatment, just equal treatment between gays, straights, different races and ethnicities, old, young, etc. You know, it's all equal. That's what it should be. And I think a lot of people are catching on. Of the 1,200 men living in the United States, 49% said that they do not support Trump at all, and 11% said they disagree with him on most issues. 9% said they agree with him on some issues and disagree with him, blah, 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 blah. Overall, though, you know, it seems like a lot of them like him for a lot of certain things, and a lot of them dislike him for certain other things, probably his attitude, the way he talks about certain people, probably even his handling of what's going on right now with COVID and stuff. I know that there's a lot of people, like especially around my clique and stuff, around my personal accounts and Facebook and social avenues, that really just they think Trump is to blame for everything. They think Trump is to blame for the virus that shall not be named. But they think he's to blame for the handling of everything, yet they don't understand civics. They don't understand, you know, how their local officials, their local elected representatives, all of these avenues, if their area is doing bad and they see it, they blame Trump because the media tells them it is Trump's fault. But it really does come down to, you know, separation of powers, 10th Amendment. It comes down to Trump can't go in and direct certain things. You know, I think he has the power to do certain things that if it goes too far, then he has executive capabilities to do so. But, you know, overall, no, you know, blame your elected representatives, but most of all, blame yourself for blindly voting for people just because they had a D or an R or whatever next to their name on the ballot. And try to learn from this. You know, everybody seems to have an opinion, but then when I go around, like even on my personal accounts, everybody's, you know, like giving generalities. Oh, well, he's a racist and he says sexist things and he's a sexist and he's a rape and he does all this. I'm like, those are MSM talking points. A lot of them have been disproven, if not all of them. And then I come back with a list of actual accomplishments, actual things that he's done for different communities. Regardless, you know, I don't like identity politics. Trump does play that card, but overall, you know, he uses it to his advantage, and he's making progress with those communities. Again, that's where I differ from Trump. I believe everything should be treated equal. I don't like this separation of race war and age war and whatnot. So overall, they come back to me after I give them all of that information. They're like, well, keep being the sheep, Roger, or whatever. And I'm like, you came at me with general statements. I came at you with facts and sources. And then you come back with that. Okay, I'm done here. I'm done wasting my time with people like this. You know, I'll go out on a limb sometimes if I have time, but I'm a busy man and I have goals. You know, I want to make my channel something that people are comfortable watching. I think I might start doing this permanently. Here and there, you might see me with a video camera in my car or outside or whatever. I don't know. But this to me seemed the most ideal with the way the world is going at this point. I don't want to move my computers. I don't want to move my monitors. I just want to have something where I can wake up in the morning, try to make it a goal to understand what's going on in the world today, and then throw something at you guys. And hopefully it's a value. You know, that's my goal anyways. So this article just goes on, and overall, you know, you can go ahead and read it. But the tide is changing. You know, there are a lot of gay people out there who understand. And I think gay people like myself, again, I don't like the label of it, but I have to say it for context. Gay people like myself, also a minority. Gosh, I hate labels. But anyways, we are making a bit of a difference. Am I saying that I'm making a lot of difference? No, but I do know of one person on YouTube that I did change their mind after talking to them, you know, after a couple of videos. You know, this is a couple years back. So I've at least helped one person. I did my part. I at least helped one person. You know, there's other people. I think it's Brandon Struck. I can't remember. The guy who cleans. I always get the two mixed up. There's a guy that cleans up, and there's a guy that started the walk away movement, which I still think is a hokey thing. It works. It works. We'll take what we get, so we don't have to have this Marxist, dictatorial, tyrannical stuff happening with the leftists. Even moderate leftists, all these leftists, they're not calling shit out, at least not that I'm seeing, and you're not seeing it in MSM, but they're not calling it out. They've adopted the ideologies of chaos and force, and a lot of gay people are now shifting over and seeing the truth. So that's my take on me doing my part, on them doing their part. They did a big part in that. The cleanup guy that just, you know, he got beat up, I think, you know, when he went to a town trying to clean up a town. I think Brandon Struck may have, I forget. I think he may have had something bad happen to him as well. I don't remember. But all I can say is every single person, even if you just change one person's mind, not even change one person's mind, you guide them to see a good direction that's healthy, beneficial for all, not preferential or anything, but just equality for all, regardless of anything, disability, age, gender, whatever, orientation. That's the way to go. You don't give special and preferential treatment for and try to sign, you know, pass legislation, try to pass bills, try to pass laws, try to pass anything, or make rules to where those people actually get special consideration. You know, it's that I don't want to live in that kind of a world, because at any given time, if that happens, who's to say in the future down the line, ideas change. And yes, you know, in Marxist ideology, when ideas do change and shift, they get rid of the useful idiots, the gay people, the BLM people, any of these followers that just serve no purpose anymore. They will just get rid of you. That's the way that it works. So I'm glad to see the numbers shifting. I do believe it's sincere. Now, here's the funny part. These two articles I'm going to share here. Here's Out Magazine. Why the 45% of gays are Trump supporters poll means nothing. That's a weird way of putting that title. Over the past few days, a survey finding that 45% of gay men who plan to vote for Donald Trump in the upcoming election has been circulating. It has been passed around social media and even went on to become the inspiration point for a package on Tucker Carlson, in which a gay Republican disclosed that many staffers of Republican politicians on Capitol Hill are gay. That goes without saying. According to him, they are closeted about their political affiliations outside of work, which, again, you know, if you have the bravery to come out, if we are in an oppressed society right now, but it's more brave for you, and it's really easy for you to come out as gay, lesbian, or trans or whatever, but it's not easy for you to come out because of your political ideologies. And we have a serious problem here as far as acceptance, all around overall acceptance and freedom of thought, and to have people get really upset at you who used to be your friends and family, co-workers, etc. It's disturbing to me how it's gone to the level that we're at right now, where we just hate each other because of political affiliation. So let's go on. According to him, they are closeted about, I already read that. But Sunday, that study got attention from the tweeter-in-chief himself, Mr. Donald Trump. Again, how can you add credibility to yourself when you have these kind of attacks? You know, again, I'm guilty of it myself, but I am not an avowed, I am not a journalist. I am not well, I guess you can say it, technically I am, but I am not a a reporter, journalist for a major magazine like this, website like Out Magazine, they're already having an opinion. They're vocalizing their opinion just by that alone. How can you take credibility when you know that there's one side? I try to look at everything as equal as possible. Kind of like Trump versus Biden. What has Biden realistically accomplished in the 45 plus years that he's been serving this country? Absolutely nothing. He's gotten more people incarcerated along with Kamala, and has, him and his cronies have profited heavily off of that incarceration. It's just so much out there that Trump is reversing, and people just don't know it because they read the narrative, they read the general narratives, they read the iPad, iPhone, what do you call it, iNews. They look at the headlines, they don't go past anything, and this is what they get. Stupid people like this writing tweeter in chief. Whatever, maybe it's just a compliment to him being the tweeter in chief. I don't know. It sounds derogatory to me, and that's the impression that I get. That's the impression I think that they're trying to go for the majority of their audience, so they can already have a side. And then when they read the rest of it, it's going to be like, oh yeah, he's so horrible. So great. He quoted, he wrote, quote, tweeting a Newsweek article about the study. It's a tweet right here. But given Trump's long history of tweeting and otherwise surfacing manipulated media, so much so that Twitter has had to step in multiple times to label his tweets as such. Again, that's election interference right there. That's election interference. Who cares what a president says? It doesn't matter if it's bad or good, false narrative, true, or an opinion, or you hate it, or it's offensive, or whatever. You got to protect these kind of things. You don't need to be censored. Again, Section 230, I think it needs to be hit hard, in my opinion. Going back to this. And his penchant for outright lies. Oh my gosh. Again, a general statement. It's important to take a critical eye to the study. And when you do, it doesn't hold up. At all. The study was conducted by Hornet, a social media network and dating app for queer men. The surveyed their own users. Okay, again, guys, at least do some editing. I know you're upset. I know that you have rage and stuff, but at least correct that. Which could explain if you've never heard of this study before, and got a sampling of just 1,200 men based in the U.S. From what I understand, it was actually global, and I don't know, maybe they're right about the number here, but it wasn't just 1,200 men. From what I understand, the survey was foreign users as well, people who use this overseas. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're right. But from what I've seen in other sources, this was actually a global tally. And when you narrowed it down, they did take another study from just the United States and use that data as well. So who knows? So yes, they are extrapolating the results they are finding in Checks Notes, a dating app that is not by far one of the more popular dating apps within the community, to be representative of that community. Who cares? It's gay people. Doesn't matter the source, dude. Doesn't matter the source. Who is this weirdo? Let me just save this place here. McKelly Street, whatever. I don't know who you are. But it doesn't matter the source. Just like, look, I can, like me, everybody knows, at least the majority of people know who watch me frequently and have watched me for a long time, understand my disdain for grifting individual Candace Owens. I loathe her, and I might get some dump down votes for that right now in this part of the video. But I hate her because I understand her past. I understand what she's about. And yes, maybe people change, but I just, I still feel she's grifty, and that's just my point on it. But the thing is, some of the things that she says are valid. Just because I have disdain for her doesn't mean that what she says and what comes out of her mouth at times are correct. Again, I hate that phrase, but sometimes a broken clock can be right twice a day. So can she. I'm not just going to say her point is invalid because it's coming from her. I'm not going to say that about people I like either, or people that I respect. But this person is. So obviously, again, I was right. The judgment is coming out. Now they're belittling Hornet. They're belittling whatever just because it's not widely used. It doesn't matter. There's still gay people that use it. Duh. So whatever, dude. McCallay or whatever your name is. According to Hornet, of those 1,200 men, 51% said that they were voting for Biden, while 45% said they were voting for Trump. If you do the math, that's 612 men for Biden and 540 for Trump. Ooh, and this is supposed to be representative of the larger community. That's your assumption. Nobody's saying it's representative of the larger community. But again, I bet this person also trusts the polls, the 2016 polls saying that Hillary was going to win by 99%. And then as election day kept rolling on, it kept dwindling down. And then Trump won pretty handily. Nobody is saying, except you, that it's representative of the larger community. It's representative that it's a trend. It's a trend. And again, like I mentioned earlier, it's probably a 10%. 5 to 10% off. But then again, I don't think that they would lie. These people who take this survey would really lie about their choice on this matter. So I would drop that difference down to about 2 to 3%, the margin of error or whatever you call it. These weirdos. To hold up this poll as evidence that the LGBTQπ community is somewhat split on its support for the presidential candidates is like someone saying the users of farmers only represent the ideological spectrum of all farmers of that Christian mingle users represent the ideological spectrum of all Christians. How? No, it doesn't. You're using absolute words here. All? No, nobody is saying all. Nobody is saying the entire LGBTQ nobody is saying this. You are. You're adding more fluff to just this. It makes no sense. Okay. I know I missed. Okay. To tout a Hornet poll as evidence of LGBTQπ support for Trump is clickbaity, sloppy journalism. I'd like to say that about this article as well. Even Hornet staff are on the same page. Okay, here we go. As with any informational surveys like this, the only thing that can truly be extrapolated from Hornet's data is that 45% of those American gay men who took the survey expressed their support for Donald Trump. Stephen Hornet, an executive editor of the app, said, "I've seen outlets attempt to extrapolate voter prediction on behalf of the greater LGBTQπ community, which can't and should not be done. Ours was a poll of gay, bi, and trans men, not the larger community." Again, maybe then I'm wrong about this being a worldwide survey of 1,200 Hornet users, or maybe a little bit more. I stand corrected if that is the case. I'm not going to research it. I really don't care. But the overall thing is, this does represent a movement. You can't discount that. 4 years ago, I bet if they had this survey with Hillary Clinton, or maybe even with Biden and Trump, if Biden was the nominee 4 years ago, I bet it would have been something like 95.5%. 90% to 10% Trump, 90% Biden or Clinton to 10% Trump. I bet it would have been that way. But now people are seeing. People learn along the way. It's been 4 years. This guy has proven himself. I think at least a good amount of the gay community are coming out and understanding this. We're not all dumb. We're not all like, oh my God, you got to treat me fair. You got to bake my cake. You got to let me in this building. I have special treatment because I'm gay. No, there's a lot of us gay people out there. It's not the majority, but there are some of us out there who just don't force people to be in that narrative. These guys, they are. So now this one I haven't read, but this one did pop up. Donald Trump touts, this is from LGBTQnation.com, Donald Trump touts hookup app poll to prove he's the most pro-gay president in American history. Let's see though, is it the same? Alex Bollinger. Okay, so it's a different person. Says, Donald Trump tweeted that it's great that a web poll said, we already know what he said. Trump was responding to a tweet about the unscientific web poll conducted by the queer hookup app Hornet last week. Who cares? I mean, science at this point is not even science. It's at least the science that they want us to adhere to, the one that they want us to succumb to. It's not all science. It's politics now. We're controlled, not even anymore by our. When they shouldn't even be controlled. Well, we're not even being led by our country. We're being led by globalist authority figures with agendas that keep changing their minds about the mask, that keep changing their minds about distancing, that keep changing the data when it comes to death. And now that there's no death, they're going crazy and wanting everybody to take tests so that the test figures can go up and they can roll out all of these Event 201, contact tracing, New World Order. They're trying to just get control of everything. And we're being little peons to it. So the majority of people are, especially in the gay community. I'm glad to see a lot of them are waking up. And maybe the poll, maybe not be a representative of like the last person said, the larger gay community. But you know what? There is an upward trend, because that poll, if it was taken 4 years ago, I guarantee you it would have been less than 10% gay people support Trump at that point in time. I was one of those that did. I voted for Trump. I am one of the few. I understood what he was about, and people were dogging me left and right, like, why are you voting for him? I was at a bar watching the second debate in Phoenix, and I believe it was the second debate where Trump had said, or Clinton had said, yeah, everybody's lucky that you're not president. And he's like, yeah, because you'd be in jail. I clapped and I laughed. Everybody, every single head turned and looked at me, including the bartenders. Nobody liked me after that. And if I would go back and frequent that place, I would get mad glares, because they remembered that situation. Times have changed. There, and some of the friends that I had back then, I think there was maybe a handful that I know them off the top of my head, who I used to hang out with from time to time, go to the bars with from time to time. They were Trump supporters, and they were closeted Trump supporters. I was very open about it. I didn't really care. It's like, I understand what's going on here. He's not a politician. I can see that there's something else going on here. Now, I am going to make another video where I do believe it's a possibility that maybe Trump was put in, maybe he was elected to cause all the chaos and distraction that's going on. Now, I just toyed with this the other day I toyed with this idea in my head with everything going on, that maybe he is intentionally put in there to allow people to, I don't know. I'll put it in my next video. Now, granted, I don't believe that to be true. It's just something that crossed my mind. So don't think that I'm losing my hope in Trump. It's just, and what he's trying to accomplish. It's just something I want to make a video about, to ponder, and that's it. And hopefully it's not true. Anyways, so who gives a shit if it's unscientific? 45% of gay men are voting for real Donald Trump, tweeted Trump supporter Carolyn Borensko with a link to Newsweek article about the web poll. Now, this though, I will say, is a little exaggerated for Carlin, or whatever her name is, to say that. Just as I'm discounting both of these journalists, or whatever you want to call them, MSM hacks. It's stupid for her to say that. This makes no sense. I wouldn't go above and beyond on that ladder and exaggerate the figures. 45% of gay men are going to be voting for Trump. I don't think it's that high. Even then, we represent a very small minority in the United States, that even our votes are not going to make a difference. You're seeing a big shift with Caucasians who actually you do have to influence to win an election, for the most part, because they're the ones with the more population, more voter turnout, traditionally. This doesn't really, it won't make a difference. Even if 100% of the gay people went out and voted for Trump, it still wouldn't make a difference. It'd be a blip in the radar. It just would. It is what it is at this point. So I think she kind of over-exaggerated there. I would still think that maybe it's going to be about 35%. That's even stretching it for me, of gay people that will go out and vote for Trump. Who knows though? Maybe the number. Maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe it's 60. Maybe, who knows? Maybe it's 100. We just don't know. A lot of people are being forced. You get attacked. You already saw it with the cleanup guy. I forget his name. I keep wanting to call him Brandon Strzok, and I'm wrong. But you keep seeing people, if they come out and support Trump, they get attacked left and right. Even in my videos, sometimes in the comments, I'm labeled, oh, you don't know what you're voting for. You're voting for, against your own best interest. And I'm like, my best interest is to make sure that I'm as equal as everybody. I don't need any special treatment. I just want to be an equal, and that's it. I am an equal. I don't feel oppressed in my life. I feel I'm given every opportunity I want out there, that will not harm anybody, that will not I'm a person. I'm looked at as a person. It's been ages since I've actually paid attention if somebody was judging me because of me being a minority or because I'm gay. Hasn't happened in a very long time. I'm very, with the millions and millions of years that this earth has existed, estimated, we are very privileged to be living at this time where, and not to mention just this time, specifically, I am one of 330 million privileged people. And even fewer than that, one of the privileged, I don't know, what is it, 15 to 25 million, maybe even 50 million Americans are gay. I doubt it's that much, but I'm even more privileged in that smaller number right there, that I'm able to walk around as a free man, free individual, to go about my business and live life. Very privileged, and I'm very, very thankful for that, for this country. I understand that. A lot of these people don't. They still look at themselves as victims. Okay, moving on. Of course, the web poll is not proof that even a large fraction of gay men will vote for Trump. Duh, we all know this. He cherry-picked this. Hornet not released data about the... Again, guys, why is it always something here? Hornet not released data about the demographics of respondents. Okay, yeah, I know I'm nitpicking, but it's just very annoying. Like their age or race, which were probably skewed because the poll was just something for people using a hookup app to click on while waiting for responses. Again, it doesn't matter. You're kind of, what is that, straw manning? I don't even know what to call this at this point. It's just like, it doesn't matter. You're on an exclusive gay, trans app, whatever else wants to go in there. And if the majority of people are going in there and they take this poll and this is what they're saying, I doubt they're lying about it. Very, very small error in that respect. Whatever. To hold up this poll as evidence, it's not evidence, it's just a poll, dude. That the LGBTQpie community is somewhat split on its support for the presidential candidates is like someone saying the users of... Okay, he stole this. Did you see this? This isn't his line. This is the exact same line. These guys. This is... So, who wrote this? It's like, this one is apparently McKelly Street. Oh, wait a minute. That's a quote. That's why. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a quote, Professor Jason Turcotte. I'm sorry. I was going to already say that they're just kind of plagiarizing each other there. I was wrong. Okay. I don't need to read that then. Moreover, while Borisenko said that the poll was about gay men, Hornet is used by bisexual, pansexual, and queer men as well as gay men. This is more disappointing than usual, considering it's the middle of Bisexual Awareness Week. Oh my God. Again, the cringe aspect of these stupid ass holidays that make absolutely no sense. We don't need this division shit. Again, I'll be making another video later on as well regarding labels and how these labels and special treatment and privileges and whatnot make people into victims. Affirmative action makes people into victims. It's insane. It's insane. So I'll be making another video about that as well later on down the line. Bisexual Awareness Week. Who gives a fuck? In August, Trump tweeted that it is his great honor in response to a gay Republican video calling him the most pro-gay president in American history. Great. Let the guy have his opinion. I bet you're going to say something bad about it. While even the Trump campaign surrogates tell voters who oppose LGBTQpie rights that Trump just needs 4 more years to enact their agenda. The video from the log cabin Republican claimed that Trump was the first president in American history to be pro-gay marriage from his first day in office. You forgot the end quotes, buddy. Again, I'm nitpicking here, but again, if you're going to be a journalist, you're going to be credible. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. So... it doesn't matter. At least we don't have videos, at least not to my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong. I see videos of Clinton, both Bill and Hillary Clinton saying marriage is between a man and a woman. I see videos of Biden saying, something similar as well. So this guy, at least, he came in 2016 when rights for people like myself and these people were in effect, and it's the norm to not judge and criticize and treat badly, treat unequally any person who's different than a straight person. This guy understands this. He's just, who gives a fuck, man? Who cares? First president in American history to be pro-gay marriage from his first day in office. Actually, I would say that is probably true, especially not from a religious standpoint. I don't know his stance on forcing the church to marry and wed anybody from the LGBTQpie community against their religious views and teachings. But as far as maybe recognizing the state, yeah, he was. I think that's probably true. Even with Obama, well, maybe Obama was. I don't know. In his first day in office, probably, and he probably took it further than Trump, I would assume. I don't know, and I don't give a shit. This is all dumbass crap right here. But it doesn't matter. He is one of the presidents out there who is okay with it. He doesn't give a crap. That's enough for me. As a gay man, that's enough for me. Not for these people, apparently, because, again, these guys aren't really journos or reporters or whatever. They're just hacks, you know, just splitting a fine line between people, again, just trying to make conflict. Trump has repeatedly said that he opposes marriage equality. He even criticized the Supreme Court for legalizing marriage equality in its Obergefell versus Hodges decision, and has never come out in support of marriage equality. Trump has attacked LGBTQπ equality, especially transgender rights, hundreds of times since mere minutes after he was inaugurated in 2017. We're not going to go knee deep into that. A lot of them I think are actually okay. I don't want to have somebody who's going to be taking, what do you call it, when they transition from man to woman or whatever, to be taking pills while they're out serving, our country overseas. How are they going to be helpful if somebody has to always take the medications and stuff to suppress hormones or to gain hormone function or whatever the transitional pills or medications? Why would it be safe and in America's best interest to downgrade the safety of you and the people that you're around serving when you're an at-risk person there? Even people with like pre-existing conditions, diabetes or I don't know, major pre-existing conditions are barred from the military. Rightfully so. We don't want to put people in harm's way that don't need to. We want the best and whatnot. If you're going to be having a surgery and you're going to be taking all these medications and your mood swings are going to be up and down like this and whatnot, no, it's a risk. It's a risk. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Trump having situations like this. Not allowing them to serve. Maybe before or after you get your transition, yeah, 100%. I'm for it. Go and serve after that, after your transition. But if you're planning on doing it while you're serving, no, I don't think so. No, I don't need you ruining. I don't need you affecting the lives of other people out there serving who are of sound mind and who are out there 100%, not for themselves. They're out there 100% serving their country. They're going to be risking life and limb. And they're not going to be focused on themselves for the most part, but it is what it is at this point. Overall, my view of this is why was it so hard for a lot of gay people to come out in support of Trump, but it's not hard for them to come out with everything else because we live in a privileged society. We live in a society now where it's okay to be gay and it's okay to be trans. It's okay to be all this and that. But we're overstepping our boundaries by trying to force people to give us special privileges and treatments. I'm against that BS. I'm against that nonsense. I don't need it. I don't want it. I want to be everybody's equal. Just because I prefer men, not women, doesn't mean that I need to be treated differently. I'm your equal. If you want to get mad at me and hate me because of my views and whatnot, so be it. If you want to get mad or hate me or want to hurt me in any way, so be it. You can have those thoughts. If I'm gay or if I'm a minority or if you think less of me, whatever. If you want to have those thoughts, fine. But the moment you lay a finger on me, regardless, that's a threat to me. And if you have those ideals, those thoughts about me that you hate me for those reasons, and you then do that, then yeah, at that point in time, I think I can conclude that I'm in danger and I need to protect myself. You can have any thoughts that you want, whatever about me. I really don't care. You can have thoughts about anybody out there. Why does the LGBTQπ community want special treatment so that nobody thinks these thoughts? That's thought control. We don't need this shit. Let people be racist. Let people be homophobic. Let people have all of these thoughts that they want to. We can't coerce them into change. That's something that comes from within. We don't know their life experience to have, for them to change to suit our narrative, our beliefs. No, you gotta respect an individual's right to freedom of view, freedom of expression, freedom of hate, hateful speech, even as well. Because when you don't, the rules can start. We start losing freedom and liberties. You got to respect even the most extreme people that you despise. It's just the way that it is. Anyways, guys, this is going to be the new format, I think, going forward, and I'll probably try to make these videos a little bit less time. I don't know how long I've been making this video, but hopefully it's been helpful for anybody out there. Not all of us I'm not an LGBTQ person. I'm Roger. I am Roger. I just happen to prefer men. I just happen to be a minority. I don't like my labels. I'm just a person, just as I view everybody else as people out there as well. But I hope that what I have given you helps push the narrative that not all of us are this insane like these people. So anyways, all right, guys, let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Like, hate, subscribe, unsubscribe, share, don't share. I do love it all. Peace out.